Welcome back, everybody. We're finishing up today with the green car. We're doing something that we've never done on this channel before, and that is winterize a car for everybody in the north. If you're in the south, go f yourself. Yeah, it's just part of it. It's something that has to get done. You don't want to end up with a cracked block come spring, cracked tanks, any of that. You don't want issues. You know, you don't want fuel system issues. You don't want coolant issues. I mean, if you run coolant in your car, this obviously isn't for you. I run water in the intercooler system. So I gotta go turn my air compressor on so I can blow out the intercooler and hoses, which I think are pretty much well empty, but we're gonna give them a shot anyway. I'm not going to... A lot of people winterize their air to water system. I'm not. I'm just gonna blow it all out. The engine, I'm leaving, and I'm gonna drain out like a gallon and put a gallon of coolant in it and get it all cycled through. And the fuel system, usually you top it off and cap it and all that crap, but I'm getting new injectors this winter. These are going back to Dave. My tank's pretty much empty and I want to change the fuel cell, so I'm not doing anything to the fuel system. And it's been running on gasoline for quite a while now, so I don't think it really should be an issue. I'm not gonna do that. Plus I gotta pull the filters. I gotta pull the filters and clean those. Those haven't been cleaned since before drag week, and I'd rather just start, you know, stuff might be getting moved, stuff might be getting eliminated with that underfloor fuel cell. I would love to put a dual 450 in-tank setup under the floor. There's a couple companies that make nice low profile ones now that I want to look at, and just have the big pump external, because my eventual goal is dual fuel. And what I mean by that is the rear tank will be one fuel. So I think I started touching on this a little bit. There will be two separate fuel systems in the car. I want to put a belt drive, 12 gallon per minute, somewhere around there in the front end, with a like a 3 or 4 gallon fuel cell. The only problem is, like, I don't have much real estate. You know, I could probably build something. If I move these two, I could probably build something above this. You know, I have plenty of space in this corner right here, but I don't like fuel rails, fuel tanks outside the fuel rails. Granted, if I get into a front end wreck with this, these fuel rails are gonna cave in half anyway. But that's something I'm working on. That's probably not gonna happen this winter. It'd be a 3-4 gallon tank running methanol with a 12 gallon per minute with a set of, I just recently found out, a set of Deca 220s can make 1500 on M1. So I'll probably see if I can see if someone's selling a set, because they don't make them no more. Bosch or Deca stopped making them. And then I'll do a set of 80s or 160s or whatever I get my hands on cheap for my street injectors, which will be fed from the rear tank. It'll be two completely separate fuel systems. Now, with that, I can ditch the intercooler. I could ditch the dash 16 hoses. I could ditch the water tank in the trunk. And if I get rid of the water tank and I get rid of the fuel cell in the trunk, I'll have a whole trunk open again. And that's like my ultimate goal right now, is to have a usable trunk. It's obnoxious having a full one. I can't, like, I barely... Sorry, I'm messing with bumper. I could barely pack the parachute in there when I'm done. It's... Why is this so tweaked? Do that, tweak it back the other way. I'm messing with the bumper for the convertible. So that's the ultimate goal. Dual fuel system. It's also one of the reasons why I'm upgrading all my safety gear this year, so when I do get to the point of putting methanol in the car, I'm covered. So it's pretty expensive to do. Just that front fuel system would probably cost me $2,500 to $3,000. You know, you're looking $1,500 to $2,000 for injectors, another $1,000 for your fuel pump. The upside, oh, I need a new regulator for that. Like, it's probably $3,500 plus actually. So the tank, regulator, pump, filter, real short piece of dash 16 hose, and call it a day. The rear system would be cheap. It'd be all in tank. I'd mount the regulator. You know, I'd take my weld in, stick it in the back, mount that to the tank, and I would just have one hose coming up, you know, like a dash 10 coming up, feeding one bank of rails, and then the other one would feed the other bank of rails, and we'd go from there. No intercooler, M1 racing, 93 driving around, or E85. I'd probably set it up in the Holly to blend it. So, you know, you start making boost, it kicks over to the M1. I don't know how we're going to do all that yet. I know some people have a map selector switch to switch between the fuel systems. You know, you turn it on, it turns on one set of injectors and turns off the other. We'll deal with that when we get to it. But I'm going to design the rear system to be able to accommodate the changes, so I don't have to change anything back there besides moving the regulator. And I want to suck it up under the floor as much as I can so you don't see much hanging out. So I got to get the cover off, get it outside. I don't need to get it outside, but I do want to hear it run one last time, maybe put it up on the brake one last time for the year. I got to get it more centered. We're going to get it up on stands. I don't need to put it on stands, but I need to build a belly pan for it this winter. I'm tired of the diaper. I'm over the diaper thing on these engines. It's a total freaking nightmare when you have low mounted accessories. So I'm getting rid of that, and I'm going to build a custom belly pan for this to catch anything if it explodes. We'll go over that when I make all that. That's going to be interesting and fun. I haven't quite decided how it's going to get done, how it's going to get fastened, and all that trash. But I am 100% done with diapers. Well, stay tuned for that. Oof. Too much crap in this garage. I do highly enjoy how well that thing fires up now. Also, we have to put a battery tender on it, unpack the parachute. More stuff will come to me. It's got fresh oil and it's got fresh training fluid in it. You know, not much mileage on that stuff. But I'm going to drain some of the water out here. I never really put a drain on this radiator. I shoulda. But we're just gonna crack this line free here. My dog up there sunbathing. This is her spot now. All right, me girl. Yeah. You enjoying the last warm day this year? So the reason I'm doing this now is I've looked at the weather forecast and I didn't want to put this thing away too soon, just in case for another nice day, but this is pretty much the last nice day that I see for 2 weeks. I mean, that's as far as my weather goes out. And it's gonna be highs in the 40s and lows in the 20s, and this garage isn't really all that well insulated, so I'd rather not chance it and just, I mean, I can drive it with coolant in it. It's not really a big issue, but we'll get some of this drained out, get some coolant in it, and I can just cycle the electric pump to get it flowing through everything, but I'll start it up and let everything warm up and get nice and hot. Alright, got it back inside. I blew out the intercooler. There's really nothing in there to say. Probably got hot from the engine. When I blew those out, oh my god, it shot all the way over and hit the wall. I guess there was a ton of water in that still. Good thing I did it. And then I came back and whatever was residual in the tank, I drained out, and you know, it's damp, but there's no puddles. So the next thing we got to do is hook up this battery tender. This is a Noco Genius battery tender, 2 amp, just direct hookup, plug in. It's meant to stay in the car. I have a mount right there. I never wired it the way I liked it, so it came out and I never did it. Probably not going to do it now either. A little water around the pump. I'm going to leave this microfiber in there to dry it up, because God willing, that's going to be gone. I don't know if I touched on the heat exchanger setup I'm doing, like my buddy Ed with the white Nova you saw on Drag Week. He doesn't have an ice tank, and he doesn't put ice in his system. He's got the same intercooler as me, twin turbo, LS. He's just got a big heat exchanger on the front end with a, what the hell is it called? Davis Craig pump, and like a little 1 gallon water tank that sits up in his fender well. And he says he doesn't see over 100 and, I think he said 110 on like 90 or on 80 degree days. So I'm going to switch to that this winter and get rid of this. And we're going to give that a shot, because street cars needing ice to race, it wasn't fun having to worry about getting ice into the tank, worry about making a second pass and having ice for the second pass. I think twice we were like, screw it, just we're gonna run what's in there. So we would pack it with 30 pounds and pray I only needed to make 1 pass and we'd get it done fast. So we're gonna try the heat exchanger route and and go from there. It's cheap. I don't know what the Davis Craig is, 200 something bucks, and the heat exchanger is like 150 bucks. But I want to see if I can find a dual pass one so that both hoses are on one side and go from there. Now let's get this thing hooked up here. That off. I don't run any fancy dancy battery, just a AC Delco 750 cranking amps. I didn't want anything stupid fancy because God forbid something happens. They got all these fancy 14 volt systems and fancy batteries and lightweight, and I'm like, I can stop at anywhere, any parts store in the country and get one of these batteries. I got this from the GM dealer. I made an extension cord because I don't know if I had, yeah, I definitely had my boat in here in the beginning years of the channel. I had my bass boat. I used to keep my bass boat in here. And I had a charging port on the back of it for all the batteries. And oh God, you probably can't even find it. There's an outlet right there that I put there for that. And I cut down an extension cord that was only like 5 or 6 foot. So let's see if we can find that thing. So I don't have this monster extension cord. No. All right, I found my short boy. And I guess it's working. I don't remember how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna leave the water tank open just so it doesn't get all moldy and nasty. This is gonna sit in here. I'm gonna run the cable down through the hole in the floor. I don't even need to. It could just sit like that. And I gotta push the car. Oh, I gotta take the chute off. Remember, I just told you guys this the other day what I do with that. Take the chute off and give me that. Push this car back, get it squared up in here, and get her up on stands. Man, I can't even tell you what I would do for a set of Pro Jacks. You think I can get those on a firm? Okay, we're pretty much done. It's up on stands. Blew the intercooler and the intercooler system out of water. Added coolant to the cooling system. The oil was changed, transmission fluid was changed. The only thing I gotta change is the rear diff fluid. But I'll do that later. What else? Battery tenders on. Batteries disconnected by the kill switch. Parachutes off. Yeah, I guess that's that. For this, it's a weird feeling. Like I feel like I should be doing something. So anyway, that's all done. All right, an update on this thing. I've thought long and hard about it, and the more I look at it, the more I just keep finding stuff. I've had a couple shells offered to me, but they're not convertibles. If it was for me, I would have taken one and been fine. But the reason my wife only wants this thing is for a convertible. She doesn't want a hard top. She doesn't want a coupe. She doesn't want a hatch. She wants this. Well, I'm going to start looking for a new body. There's just too much. Like I keep poking around and like, look, This is upper torque box right here. This is lower, you know, and I keep poking and finding even more stuff. You know, it's just too much. So I'm gonna abandon this shell. Probably gonna take off the, let's see how this side is. Yep. Look, it just crumbled away. Well, yeah, it's good right there. Now, I think I'm going to take off what's good. I put on the door. I'm going to keep this cowl. I'll take the bumper. I'll take the fender back off. I'm going to keep my ponies. 8.8 can go in it. I don't care about that. I have another one. And I'm just going to scrap this thing. I'm going to fill it with metal. See if I get a couple of bucks in time. I'm not even going to worry about it right now. But that's going to be the fate of this car. It's a shame. I did not expect it to get this bad. And it sucks. I've already put a lot of work into it to begin with. So it kind of hurts having to dump it, but there's just only so much I can do. So if you know of any convertible rollers, New England, I mean, I'll drive 10, 12 hours for a roller. So if you know of anything from like Indiana towards Connecticut, you know, Carolinas, up anywhere in there that has a convertible Fox body roller, shoot me an email. I'll put it right here at the bottom of the screen. And let me know. I'm not looking to spend a lot of money. I don't want a complete car. I don't want your $3,000 rot box. I don't care if it's a V8 car, 4-cylinder car. I don't care if it has an engine, transmission, rear. It doesn't even need to roll. All right. So jump in my emails if you find anything or you see anything. I'm talking like $500 and less. If I can buy a car like this, or it's just a bare roller, I'm fine with it. I don't care about body panels. I don't care if the body panels are rusted or damaged. The floor needs to be solid. The frame rails and strut towers need to be solid, and the torque boxes need to be. I don't want any rust on the bottom part. Rust is fine, no rot. Even if it got into a fender bender in the nose, I'm not really against that either. Let me know. That's that. I don't know what I'm going to film now that I'm not going to be working on this car. I really don't have anything to film as of right now. We're going to end this video with the green car winterized, the convertible getting trashed, and you know, we'll see when we come back with something, if I could think of something. You know what, my fire suit will be in. Maybe I'll start doing a video about safety stuff. So get in your garage, grab a cold drink. It's a little warm now, and get to work on your hot rod, whether you're getting it prepped for the winter or just starting your teardown or continuing on your build. Have a good night, guys.